So I always like to call this Pilates practice instead of a Pilates workout, because that is really the way Pilates works. It's more of something that you continue to do with deeper understanding to keep connecting your body, your mind, your breath, and continue to develop that, rather than something that you just go to and your trainer gives you a workout. So that's how Pilates differs from some other sorts of training that you might be doing, even with me. Sometimes I just work you out, and sometimes we learn and grow and develop our practice together. Hi there. We are going to do some mat Pilates today. Head over to your mat. We're working on the floor and working that core. With our back of our neck stretching out long and the feet resting on the floor comfortably. Let's start our warm up with the knees rocking back and forth and waking up that lower back. So each of these mobility exercises, you might repeat anywhere from 5 to 8 times. You can go a little slower or a little faster if you wish. Let's bring the knees back to center, and we'll draw both knees in. Just cupping their shins just gently and making some circles. This should feel like a nice massage in your lower back. Let's go the other direction. And just feeling that circle around the mid-lower back area. The middle of the lower back. Good. One foot comes down. We're just going to stretch one leg up, pointing and flexing. Waking up the ankle and the shin. And a couple of circles with that ankle. Let's go the other direction with that foot. And then place that foot on the mat. Let's switch sides. Extend that heel up toward the ceiling and stretch out through the back of the leg. And then let's circle that ankle. The knee is just a little bit soft. We don't want to have our leg extended to the point where the knee feels like it's completely straight or even bending slightly backwards. We don't want to hyperextend that knee. Let's place that foot back on the floor. We're going to focus on the middle back now, dropping the lower back into the mat and then lifting the lower back up off the mat. So we're playing with that natural curve in the spine, pressing it into the mat and away, and then lifting and exaggerating that natural curve. Just a couple more times. Finding some mobility through the middle of the back. Good. We're going to let that rest right in the center with a slight curve. Then bring those arms up and over and around. Just a couple of circles with the arms. And we're going to go the other way. And just 3 to 5 little circles with those arms. Coming overhead. And we're going to finish this one with the arms straight up. And I'm going to invite you to do something we have not tried yet in this format. But I'm going to peel your shoulder blades off the mat, keeping the head down, and then let your shoulder blades come back down on the mat, just with the force of gravity. So you're reaching up and reaching away, and then let your shoulders fall down. Now we're going to do that a little bit more quickly. So really let them just drop. Try not to push them down, but just let them drop. You get a little massage in your upper back that way. And I'm keeping my elbows and wrists a little bit soft now, just so that I can keep some relaxation in the upper back as I do that. Now feeling nice and wide through those shoulder blades, you can let those arms float down. Very good. We're going to just turn the neck side to side. And I am starting to feel a little bit warmer now. So Just before we begin our Pilates series, I will probably stop and take off my jacket. Head coming side to side and resting that head to the center. Let's build that pillar as a practice round before we get into the series. I want you to inhale and lengthen the back of the neck. There's a tiny chin nod that accompanies that. Exhale, pull in the pelvic floor, draw in through the powerhouse, which is an inch below the navel. Squeeze the belly button down and the lower back up. Knit the rib cage like you're pulling in a drawstring bag and feel heavy and strong through the sternum with wide shoulder blades. Anything else, Liz? No, that's about it. Inhale now into that strong pillar. And exhale. Inhale one more time, strong pillar. And exhale. Very good. We're going to start with our hundreds and move from there. We're going to flow through these exercises and I'll try and cue you as we go. So we're back in our neutral position. Remember that pillar we just made? We're going to do it again. Inhale and lengthen with a tiny chin nod. Exhale, drawing in the pelvic floor, powerhouse, navel, rib cage knits together, sternum is heavy, shoulder blades are wide on the mat. Without letting go of that beautiful, strong core, we're going to inhale and let the arms float up. As you exhale, we're rolling up, looking across the room for our hundreds. Bring your feet into your desired position here, here, or here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 20. Inhale. 30. Here's the other option. 40. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50. Inhale. 60. Inhale. 70. Inhale. 80. Remember, the feet can still be on the floor. 90. Inhale. 100. Feet come to the floor. Inhale, arms floating up as the head floats down. We're still strong through the core. Exhale and release the arms. Now the belly can take a little break. We're going to inhale and prepare for the roll-ups. Lengthen the back of the neck, tiny chin nod. Keep a fist width in between there and that chin and the chest. Exhale, building the pillar, pelvic floor, powerhouse, navel, rib cage, sternum. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale as you roll up. Inhale at the top, wherever you get to. I probably should have stopped because I kind of got stuck there. It's hard to cue and breathe. We're going to try it again. Inhaling. Exhaling. I am using that technique of hollowing out the lower belly and the hips as I roll up. Thinking of a cylinder lying on my lap, very, very low on my lap. I'm going to show you with a little bit of a hand signal on this next one, just so that you can see what I'm referring to. Right here, scooping. Inhale up, on the way down again, scooping here, scoop, scoop, scoop. Inhale as the arms come overhead and down. Going on to our, we're gonna bring those feet up. I'm just like, what am I doing next? Okay, I've got it figured out. We're gonna bring those feet up, turn the toes slightly out. We're gonna draw those toes forward, open and down. Draw the toes forward and slightly open, and then down and close. So you're making two very elongated rectangles with your toes, and you're keeping your feet over your mat. Let's not take it too wide. To make this more challenging, you lift the lower back up, And to make it more challenging, taking the toes further down. We'll try one more. This is called the Rollover Prep. You do not have to bring the back off the floor, and you do not have to bring those toes quite so far down. Keep this much smaller right over the body for less challenge. Last one. Drawing the knees in, and we're going to rock up to seated. So rock and roll on the back. And in fact, that is going to be our next exercises. We're going to do some rock and roll. So for this Pilates exercise, we are using this C shape. Rather than keeping the back straight in our natural curve, we are going to use that hollowed out feeling. Hollowing out through the hips and the lower belly. So I am balancing on my sitting bones and my tailbone. I'm just going to creep my toes in to help start with that balance. I'm scooping in through the lower belly, shoulders are pressed down, and my pillar is strong. I'm going to lift one foot just to try, and then the other foot. So play with this and see how that feels. The action itself is an inhale back and an exhale up. So we're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, scoop, scoop, scoop that pillar. Inhale back. And exhale up to that balance. Inhale back. Exhale to balance. Now, if you notice, the knees are staying the same distance apart from the chest as I do this. So just as a demonstration, just watch. You do not want your knees to come in and up, collapsing like that. Makes it very easy to do this, but we don't want easy, we want effective, right? Yes, we do. Let's try a couple more. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And release. I feel like that one is a lot of fun. It's one of those playful exercises. So I'm just going to turn the mat for just a moment so that you can see the positioning, because I feel like the camera isn't exactly right for this. Then I'll turn it back like this. So just pardon me while we switch that mat for a moment. I have my mat laid out, and I am lying on the very back edge of my mat. So my elbow, shoulder blades, the back of my body, even my heels, right along the back edge of my mat. There's room for probably another human being there, but we're going to kick him out of bed, okay? So we're going to bring those 2 feet forward to the front corner of your mat now. So this is why I was saying the angle was harder to see from the side position there with the camera. So that gives you the opportunity to not fall over quite so much. It gives you a little bit more stability, and that's what we want. So now we're looking at the alignment of the body. We want the neck to be as straight as possible. You'll see this when I turn the mat back around again. We want a little lift through that curve in the waist, and we want those feet to be parallel. All right? So we don't want the right foot or the top foot sitting down or sinking down over. We want to push that hip down so that the feet are flat and stacked at the bottom, and our hand is here. All right? That is going to be our position lying on the mat. Now, forgive me as I turn it around again. I'll be right back with you. Okay, camera angles, man. All right, let's go back here. So I'm lying along, feet to the front corner of the mat. Back of the neck is long, not sunk in. Long, shoulders are down. Let's pull in that pillar. Pelvic floor, powerhouse, navel, ribcage, sternum. We're going to float that bottom foot and do 2 taps to the front. And swing it right through to the back. Tap. And right through to the back. So we're passing that leg on the bottom and lining your leg up with the back edge of your mat as you swing through. Tap 1, 2, and swing back. And tap 1, 2, and swing back. One more. Tap 1, 2, and swing back. One leg over the other. We're going to make small circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other direction. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to do a side passe. We're going to draw the toe up, up, and squeeze down with a flat foot. Toe up to the knee, extend, and squeeze down with the heel. Point the toe in, up, and squeeze down, and in, up, and squeeze down. We'll do a couple more while I just remind you that all of this is happening with a very still body. We don't want anything else happening in that upper body. Everything is being held stable with the core. Last one. And down. Very good. We're going to roll through to your belly for a little transition. Palms are flat. Forehead is on the back of the palms. Back of the neck is long. Shoulders are down. We're going to lift those toes. And squeeze. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. 20. Inhale. 30. Inhale. 40. Inhale. 50. Keep it going. 60. Inhale. 70. Inhale. 80. Keep pulling in that belly. 90. Inhale. 100. Toes are down. And let's flip it over to the other side. I'm just going to rotate so I can see you in the camera. I can't really see you, but I still like to face the front. As though I'm really, really teaching you. Here's that positioning again. Elbows along the back edge of the mat. The spine is long, including the neck. Make sure that you've got that long distance here. Oh, you see, I haven't put my feet into position yet, and I am rolling around like crazy. Let's bring those feet to the front corner of that mat. That's our little angle so that we can stay more stable. And the fingertips can go here, lifting up through the waist, making sure the feet are, oh, see, they're not even. I'm going to press that hip down and make sure that that is nice and even. Here we go. We're going to just hover that lower leg, and we're going to tap 1, 2, and push back. So keeping the body still. The shoulders are staying stacked. The hips are staying stacked. 2 more. And 1 more. Foot over foot. We're going to do circles. Brushing that bottom foot with the top. Keep your breathing even and regular. Let's go the other direction. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Side passe. We're going to take it to the toe to the knee, stretch it out, and squeeze down. Toe to knee, stretch out, and squeeze down. The side lying series also is really good for flexibility. Gives you lots of work through that hip joint and lots of practice in keeping the pelvis area stable. And that's one of the beauties of Pilates. We are working on keeping the pelvis stable. And with that beautiful foundation, we have better posture, we move better, we sit better, we stand better. And there's so many more things that we do better when our pelvis is strong and stable. Last 2, I did not count. I'm guessing we've done the same number on each side, just by the way it feels. And down. Very nice. We're going to roll it over one more time and do the swan from here. So the Hands are just beneath the shoulders. The heels are together, zipped up through the thighs. And we're going to inhale and just lift. And exhale and squeeze the front body together. If you can imagine a bellows or an accordion, inhale as you stretch out that accordion, and then exhale as you squeeze the front body, ribs and hips together. Inhale, don't release. Exhale, squeeze harder. As you inhale, maintain that strong core. Exhale. Now, just to let you know, my hands are just resting here, but I'm just going to show you. I could completely hover them off the floor. It is the upper body doing this work, not the hands resting on the floor. So that's just a demonstration. Keep your hands down, but don't push into them. Lift with the back. Last one. Let's push back now and slide into a shell stretch. It's almost a child pose. Rounding down, hips hovering over the heels. Top of the back stretching out long. And let's come into tabletop and finish with just a little bit of spine mobility today before we stretch. So the tailbone and the top of the head are pulling in opposite directions. We're pulling in through the pelvic floor, the powerhouse, the navel, the rib cage, and the sternum. Everything is strong. So if somebody came and stood on your back, you'd be perfectly fine and stable. As we inhale, we're going to re-lengthen one more time, just thinking about that length of the spine. Lots of space between each vertebra. And then as you exhale, we're going to tuck with the tailbone first and round up to the ceiling, creating a nice curved open spine. Inhale as we travel back straight and strong. Do not relax. We're not relaxing. We're keeping strong. Exhale as you round up. Keep your action strong as you C-shape and scoop through those hips and the belly. Inhale, you're being pulled in opposite directions. Imagine an elastic band and you're pulling it strong and then curving that elastic band over a cylinder. And then as the cylinder moves out from underneath, the elastic band stays taut and strong. Last time, exhaling up with strength and support. Inhaling strong and long. And then releasing into our shell stretch. Scooching back onto the mat, into a seated position. Let's give those wrists a little bit of love here. When you're doing those tabletop positions, if you're working really strongly through the body, sometimes you can feel it in the wrists even and in the forearms. So just let those loosen up a little bit. Very good. Excellent. Find your hip bones and just let your fingers do the walking inward and below the belly button about 2 inches. So for me, it's right on my cesarean scar, if that's a good landmark for anybody else. We're going to dig those fingers. So hook your fingers. Let's see if we can kind of hook your fingers and dig them in right into your gut there. Doesn't feel great, but you're going to see why in a second. We're going to find your transverse abdominis. I'm digging my fingers right into my gut below my belly button. Now I'm going to blow like I'm blowing out birthday candles. And I can feel those transverse abdominal muscles boop, 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 engaging. Okay, so that's what you want to feel. Every time we're doing that puffing and that blowing and that breathing in Pilates, we are activating that transverse abdominal girdle. And that is what it is. It is your body's internal girdle. You don't have to wash it. You don't have to hang it dry. You don't have to buy it at the store. It's there. All you need to do is strengthen it. So that's what we're trying to do when we're working this Pilates. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope you learned a little something and got a little workout there, a little practice. As I was saying in the introduction, Pilates is way more about practicing than it is about working out. So hopefully we guided you through that a little bit today and got your day off to a good start. I will see you again soon.